Hi, everyone. The last time we saw Mary, remember that she had just seen Gabriel, and Gabriel had given her the most amazing news. She was going to have a baby, and the baby was the Son of God. Not only that, but her cousin Elizabeth, who was really, really old, was actually 6 months pregnant. Well, as soon as Gabriel left, Mary got her things together and she hurried to go visit her cousin Elizabeth. Well, when she got to Elizabeth and Zachariah's house, she went inside to greet them. And as soon as Elizabeth heard the greeting of Mary, something amazing happened. The baby inside of her leaped. And she was filled with the Holy Spirit. And she looked at Mary and she said, "Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the baby that you're going to have. Why am I so special that the mother of my Lord should come and visit me?" As soon as I heard your greeting, Mary, the baby inside me leaped for joy. Mary, you are blessed because you have believed that what the Lord has said will really happen. Well, Mary and Elizabeth were so excited to see each other and share each other's news. It was amazing, and they spent 3 months together. But after 3 months, it was time for Mary to go back home to Nazareth. So she left, and it came time for Elizabeth to have the baby. And sure enough, they had the baby. And just like Gabriel said, it was a boy. And you know what? Everyone was so happy for Elizabeth because they knew this was a miracle. There was no way that Elizabeth could have had this baby any other way. She was way too old, and they were so happy the Lord had done this for her. Well, it came time to name the baby, and so they all expected that they would name the baby Zachariah, after the father. That's how things went in that culture. You usually named the baby after someone in your family. But do you remember what Gabriel had said? Gabriel had said, "His name shall be called John." And so Elizabeth said, his name is not going to be Zachariah. His name is John. And her relatives looked at her and said, "There is no one in your family named John. Are you sure?" And so they went to Zachariah and they made signs to Zachariah to try to find out what he thought the baby's name should be. And he motioned that he wanted something to write with, and they brought it to him, and he wrote 4 little words. At least in English, they're 4 little words. And this is what he wrote. His name is John. And then something amazing happened. Zachariah suddenly could speak again. Do you remember? That's what Gabriel had said. He said, "You won't be able to speak until what I've said happens." And it happened. And Zachariah began praising God, and the people were amazed, and they were just in awe. They couldn't believe what had happened. And they started asking questions. They said, "What is this child going to grow up to be?" And you know what? They told neighbors, and neighbors told neighbors, and those neighbors told neighbors, and those neighbors told more neighbors, until the entire Judean countryside was all talking about John. And they saw that there was something special about John because they saw that God was with John. In the meantime, Mary had gone back to Nazareth, and her fiancé Joseph, he had found out that she was pregnant. But Joseph thought that Mary had been unfaithful to him, and he was very, very sad, and he thought he was going to have to break their engagement. But the Bible tells us that Joseph was a righteous man, and so he didn't want to embarrass Mary by telling everyone. He decided he was going to break their engagement quietly, secretly, so that she wasn't embarrassed. But he knew he couldn't go ahead and marry her. Well, one night, when he was sleeping, Joseph had a dream, and he dreamt about an angel. And that angel said, "Joseph, son of David, don't be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for the baby that she's going to have is from the Holy Spirit. And she's going to have a boy, and you are to name him Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins. This was something really amazing. And the reason why it was so amazing is because it was fulfilling a prophecy from about 650 years before. 650 years before, God had spoken to his people through his prophet Isaiah. And he had said, the virgin will give birth to a son, and his name shall be called Emmanuel, which means God with us. Well, Joseph woke up, and you know what? Joseph believed the angel, and so he wasn't afraid to take Mary as his wife anymore. Well, come back next week, and you'll hear the end of the Christmas story. See you then.